Hello and welcome everybody to our Embodied Chakra Journey. And this is a chakra journey that is on the Heart Chakra. We're going to reflect a little bit on the solar plexus from our last in the series, and then we're going to do a little bit of yoga at the end. I would love for each of you to gather your water, get a yoga mat out, and if you have any props that you'd like to use for your yoga class, I'm going to grab these two bolsters. So if you want to grab that one. So you can grab a firm pillow or a bolster if you'd like to use that during your practice. And then also inviting you to light a candle. We've got a candle over here, and we also have our altar with all of our heart chakra stones in it for today, which Takata so beautifully set up for us. And we'll be talking a little bit about the stones and crystals as well for the heart chakra and for the foods. So let's go ahead and get started. Anything that you want to say to start off our class today? So we're going to be working with embodiment of joy and love today. And so inviting you each to really step into that place in yourself so that way you can broadcast that light out into the world. It's super, super important for all of us to fill up our own cup and make sure our cup is not only full, but it's actually overflowing. And so today we're going to be moving into that overflowing heart space through the heart chakra. So I invite you to just settle in, take a few breaths together, and let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to invite you to just grab a drink of water, and we'll set our intentions with our water today. So embodying joy is the highest frequency of the heart, appreciation, gratitude, and just stepping into that spirit of opening the heart through love. We're asking for divine love to come into this practice today and to share divine love with all who embody this practice in the future replays and recordings. We're asking for great spirit to guide our practice today and embodying that frequency of joy through all things, whether they're happy, sad. It's an embodiment of a choice to just be in the moment, be in the flow. And so we're asking for divine flow, divine love, embodiment. I'd like to add anything back to that water, then go ahead and take a drink. I'm working with this blue cobalt frequency. And you can see also my water bottle has divine love and the Sri Yantra in it. So we work a lot with, of course, the water and creating the connection to the water that we drink and the foods that we eat. I'm going to talk a little bit about the foods for the chakras to transition. And so our previous chakras, we had talked about feeding your root chakra. I am is the affirmation for that, and it's all about grounding. Feeding your sacral chakra, the theme is nourishing the divine feminine, sexuality, creativity, and fertility. And the affirmation for the second chakra is I feel. And then moving into the solar plexus, which we worked on last time. And this is about self-worth, encouragement, and self-love. And this is I do. It's the place of action. And we talked about the element of earth, water, and fire. Now we're moving into the element with the heart, with air. And this is the healing, the emotional connections, and the affirmation here is I love. And so eating foods that are of this particular color of the chakra are always something you can do to really embody the energy of that chakra. When you think about foods that have to do with air, the air chakra, they're foods that grow in the air, like foods that grow on trees or foods that hang off of plants, like grapes or cherries or apples or oranges, and also foods that grow in the air, like cruciferous vegetables, like broccolis and cauliflowers. So those are air vegetables, whereas opposing to the root chakra, those are foods that grow in the earth, potatoes and onions, carrots, beets, turnips, sweet potatoes, and things that are actually of the earth. And this is why those earth foods help us to be grounded, especially if we're very airy, fairy people. And a lot of us are, as empaths, we tend to be in the upper chakras. And if we're only eating fruits and things like that that hang on trees, we're only exacerbating the air, adding more and more and more air. So we have to really focus on eating for all of the chakras and balancing with the root and the water and the sacral and the fire, and then of course the air. Fire also can be combustible when you add more oil. So healthy fats and healthy oils are really good for the Manipura chakra, the solar plexus. So a little review. We've got the 4-petaled chakra here with the root chakra. This is the first chakra. And then this is Muladhara. And then we've got the second chakra. Oops, what's the third? Second chakra here, chakra number 2, Svadhisthana. And this is the water chakra. And you can see the, well, in this one, it doesn't have a downward facing triangle, but it has a downward facing triangle in a lot of them, where you can see that's the element of water. Then we've got the third chakra, which is chakra number 3. We've got Manipura. This is the energy of fire and the energy of the yellow and the gold and those foods that are of that color. And then we're moving now into the heart chakra, and this is Anahata. And the Anahata chakra is, of course, the element of the heart. There's breath work that you can do to check in with the heart chakra, which definitely is, any kind of breath work, but specifically Ujjayi Breath is a really good breath for that. And then to talk about the chakras for the foods for your chakras, do you want to go over the foods for the chakras for the heart? And then I'll talk about the breath work.
Yeah. So the heart, as we said, the air vegetables, the green leafy vegetables, spinach, kale, dandelion greens, which are popping up right now. Spring is showing itself. And then Brussels sprouts, green cabbage, celery, zucchini, squash, peas, and asparagus, bok choy, along with the broccoli and the cauliflower mentioned. And then for the liquids, organic green teas, matcha tea, yerba mate, green fruits, kiwi fruits, green apples, green grapes, cucumbers, avocados, and lime. Superfoods, spirulina, chlorella, wheatgrass, and barley grass. Those are all really beautiful, but nice and juicy.
So green, so green.
So green.
And the heart chakra, the main color of the heart chakra is green. So there's so many foods that are green.
Mm-hmm. And for the herbs, we've got basil, sage, thyme, cilantro, parsley, coriander, mint, oregano, rosemary, tarragon. So yeah, green leafies.
All the green leafies. And this, we're filming this in the spring as we move closer to the Christian holiday of Easter, or moving out towards Ostera, which is the spring equinox. So we started this series in the beginning of the Candlemas, and then now I'm moving toward the season of Easter. And so we are moving through the energy as it's rising up from root to crown. And as the energy of the trees are moving up, the sap is also moving up in the body of the tree. And this is also what we're doing, is we're feeding the body, we're moving up the chakras. So the color here, again, is green. The high heart color is pink quartz. And so we have a couple different examples here. The pink quartz. And then there's some natural pink quartz here that we found on the land. There's a combination of different types of quartz that are all varieties of pink here at Mystic Hearts. Then, of course, we have shells, and the shell has been dyed green. These make for great chakra, great crystal grid placements because they're shaped in rectangles. So you can make all kinds of things.
They're all abalone.
They're abalone, they're dyed green. Yeah. And then, of course, one of my favorites, and this is one of my first loves in all the chakra stones, is malachite. You can see I'm wearing a malachite bracelet and a malachite necklace. Malachite is one of my favorite heart stones. It just feels so good. Feels so good. This one is a combination of greens, browns, grays, and pinks. So you've got both the high heart and the traditional heart chakra there. This is another stone that has a lot of green. I don't even know what that one is, but it's really beautiful. And then we've got some deeper tones, like some dyed agates here, as well as a little smaller stone that's malachite. One thing about malachite is you can look at it, and where it has a Dremel drill through the center, if it's white in that Dremel drill, that's actually not solid malachite, it's just dyed. So you want to look for real malachite because it carries that frequency all the way through. And anything else about the stones or crystals you want to share there? Okay. So the color and activity, it's about, of course, love, and the high heart center green is qualifying our feelings, thoughts, and activities with love and acceptance. And the center is the chest, the center of the sternum, and the activity here, the high quartz, the high heart is pink quartz, which is about all embracing love, compassion, mercy, forgiveness, acceptance, and love for all of life and all of creation, which is really what Mother Gaia is here to do. So many, many years ago, when one of my very first Reiki master teachers that I attuned in my lineage after I received my Reiki master attunement back in 2010, and she and I were doing a Reiki session in my old studio in the Dallas area, in my hot yoga studio. And we were doing a session trade. And when I got on the table, and she and I both, this is 16 years later, remember this so clearly. Super powerful connection, two Reiki master teachers working together within the same heart coherence. And when we got into this session, I just was immediately blasting through my heart, and I saw this vision of Mother Gaia. And I saw this vision of her, our planet, the green planet or the blue planet. She's very watery and very turquoise from the outer space, images that we have quote unquote seen. But what I saw was this zoomed out view of her, and she had this grid around her water body, and it was a frequency like a spider web of pink quartz. And I remember it so clearly. And then I remember seeing little diamond specks all through that spider web around her. And Spirit told me in that moment, these are the gatherings of light workers. And this is what we're doing now, is we're literally regridding the planet with our light. And this was so many years ago, this vision came to me. And I so clearly remember this beautiful, beautiful pink quartz embodiment of Mother Gaia, and that's her highest frequency. And this is where we're headed. Before this class is over, I'm going to run get this giant heart-shaped pink quartz that we have out by the pool and hot tub. And she's just one of our favorites. She's just always is charging up the water out there. So we'll grab her in a moment so you can see her. So this gland is really the heart. The actual heart is the gland that's associated. The negative polarities would be attachment to your personal self, selfishness, or envy and jealousy. Do you want to take over from here and talk about the musical instruments? DJ Sunray?
The heart. I mean, just think about the heart. When you're in the heart, then it's just,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. The flute, violin, piano.
We actually played the flute.
I did play the flute. Yes. Which, of course, is a woodwind or an air instrument. So you've got that.
Clarinet would be one too.
Yes.
Continue.
Keynote of F. And
This is helpful if you're working with sound healing and crystal bowls to know what keynotes are associated with which chakras.
then we already discussed the rose quartz, but aventurine is another stone that, and green tourmaline.
Oh yeah, aventurine is really beautiful. It's like a light, and I also jade. I have a jade ring here as well. And green tourmaline is really beautiful. It's semi-opaque. It's very, very dark, and it almost looks black in some light. But it's a really beautiful one as well. And then to tie back in the elements, we'll talk a little bit about how the air and fire tie together with the solar plexus moving into the heart, and then I'll talk about the affirmations.
It's like the top part of the fire where the fire and the air meet. So you can think about watching a fire and the top portion of the flame flickering, and it's where the air and the fire kind of meet together, the meeting point. It's kind of right here.
This is Agni, the center of Agni, and it's like what are those little things that you take and you go and you puff the air into the fire, and what happens? It expands. And so this is that place of expansion, and this is what the diaphragm does when you do breath work. We're literally pumping air into the fire area. So we're moving the fire center, we're moving the air center, and we're actually creating Agni within the body. This is how we work with prana and life force energy through our breath work. Anything else on that? Okay, let's move into the affirmation. So we'll say this affirmation together, and then we will also have this available for those of you that are in our mentorship as a download in your homework area, or homework, I like to call it. All right, so let's say the affirmation. I am the divine presence, qualifying all my thoughts, feelings, and actions with divine love. I am filled with love, mercy, compassion, and forgiveness for humanity and life and myself. I am loving. I accept all human qualities. I am my highest self. I love the earth. I create the opportunity to learn, to serve, and to master all forces of illusion in this life, in this reality. I love and accept and master within me. I open myself further each day, knowing the light and love within me is always expanding. I express more love to myself and the world around me now. Oh, so it is. So we're going to talk next time about the throat chakra. And then there's an energy center between the heart and the throat, which is the high heart chakra. I'm going to just touch on that just a little bit. This is the thymus center, and this is the center of self-love. So it's a very, very important chakra, halfway between the heart and the throat. Not to be forgotten, it is a minor chakra, but it is extremely important when you're working with love and self-love for your own highest good and for your evolution on this planet. I am going to move over to the endocrine system and talk a little bit about that, and then we're going to get into our practice today with our breath work and our yoga. So to review, Muladhara is root chakra, Svadhisthana is your sacral, Manipura is your heart, is your solar, Anahata is your heart, and then we're moving into Vishuddha, Anja, and Sahasrara, which are the 7 primary chakras which are in the physical body. Now, we're going to talk deeper as we expand this 7-week journey. Future, we're going to talk about the Earth Star Chakra and the chakra that connects us to the stars. And so these are how we are connected from earth and sky to earth. When we're working with this particular chakra, Anahata, You want to talk a little bit about the glands, and I'll take over with the yoga class after that. Start our breathwork.
So the thymus gland, and then the T cells, the lymphocytes. This is all focused around protection.
So our lymph cells, our T cells, they protect our bodies, which ultimately protects our heart space, and it moves out from there. Thymus gland as well, like I mentioned, is the high heart chakra. So that's connected to the heart chakra, even though it's a minor chakra between the heart and throat. And then the sounds, as we had talked about earlier, we had talked about the seed sounds of the chakras. And so we started with the root, which is Lam. Then we move into a sacral, Bam. Solar plexus, which is Ram. And then we move into Yam. So I always think about the heart as Yam is, but it's really yummy. And so Yam, I think about Ram for our solar plexus, which is like Ram, like moving in action. Bam for our sacral, which is like very fluid, Bam. And then coming down to the root, which is Lam. So we're going to chant the chakras, Lam, Bam, Ram, Yam. And then we'll talk a little bit about the higher chakra sounds and then move right into our Ujjayi Breath. So let's take a moment to sit up tall. Move the flesh out from your sit bones so you can find a nice grounded seat. You want to sit on a bolster to make sure that your hips are level. Your knees are going to need to be below your hips, not above them. If your knees sit above your hips when you're crisscrossed in Sukhasana or Siddhasana, you want to have your hips elevated so that you can take the pressure off of your knee joints. So make sure that you elevate your hips enough so that you remove that pressure off your knees. Otherwise, your seated practices and your breathwork practices are going to be really uncomfortable. And you're not trying to power through something here. You're trying to do something with divine flow. This is what yoga is about, is to yoke mind, body, spirit. And so anytime you're feeling discomfort or you're getting this message to move, move. Yoga is about being fluid. It's not about the rigidity of just how long can I sit there and meditate. So just make sure you allow yourself the ability to move, take a drink, grab some water, move your hips side to side, and just keep it flowing.
I want to speak about the protection piece just a bit, because the heart is centered around protection. And what we can recognize within so many, and maybe even ourselves, when the heart space is closing down, or when we have traumas or certain levels of protection that we put up for ourselves, oftentimes this will close off the heart space. So we'll get like a forward rounding shoulder, the heart space coming forward, even the neck coming forward.
And so much being on the phone, on the laptop,
this can create the hump in the back to whatever degree. So you'll see and notice people with the extreme versus just slight, but these are also ways in which we protect ourselves. So when we are protecting the heart, when we are protecting ourselves, this is the physical action that takes place,
like a physical protection.
Right. This is full-on movement. And this is why it is also so important to have the heart opening, because this is where we block our ability to put our gifts and strengths into action in this reality. We have to have an open heart to actually show up in this world fully present and as our higher self. And those old things that get in the way that make us protect this heart space from ourselves or from others, is this closing. So opening up this heart space, one of my favorite things is actually using this tool, but you can use a rolled up towel, you can roll up a small blanket, or this is 6 tennis balls in a tube sock. I'm just laying over this for a period of time during the day, or like I said, the towel, and allowing the heart space to open up. That's a great way to just breathe into it and allow this to open. And as we are opening this up on the physical side, we are opening it up on the mental, spiritual, and as well.
Coming from 12 or 20 years of body work, she's seen a lot of this. And this is speaking from working with the physical body. And I'd love for you to speak to that a little bit too, about just kind of what we've seen, like as we did in the physical, how it radiates out and how it's all so interconnected.
Well, I'm gonna kind of use this.
Okay. Well, that was really good then.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to
I mean,
speak to
we can dive deeper, but you want to know more, just reach out.
and this is one of the specialties that she does in sessions. So she does the body readings and to see where the things are held within the being, and to physically move that through soul coaching and physical movement and massage techniques. So moving with the heart it's fundamental, obviously, to our survival, but it starts with dropping into the heart space, getting out of the head, coming into that place of trust, gratitude, surrender. Again, what's the mantra? Trust, gratitude, surrender. If you heard anything from us in the past, that we will get on that soapbox and continually just repeat.
Yeah.
Those are the three things to come back to. It drops you back into the heart.
The mind is going to come into the heart, do something that pulls you into the space, like laying over the noodle ball, as I call it, or anything that would help open this up and just relax into it, get out of the head, get into the heart. This is where you're going to find the true compass of where or how or what needs to be done in order to break free of whatever is going on.
Exactly. Exactly. And so I walked out and got the heart stone here. So beautiful. Heart stone. And look at it, it's very heavy. So this is our pink heart, pink quartz heart. You can see side as well. But it's just this beautiful heart stone. So I'm going to put it here between us for our practice. And let's go ahead and move into a seated position so we can do our chanting. And I want to just speak briefly to a story that happened as we were trying to video this Heart Chakra class. It has taken us 2 full weeks to try to get to this Heart Chakra class, because in the beginning of the year of Fire Horse, the very first thing that happened was my heart center, my lungs, my sinuses were attacked by mountain cedar, Sahara sands. It was also on the spiritual level, which everything, tree sperm, all the pollens, and it shut me down. I was incapacitated and completely out. I slept for 20 hours the first day, 11 hours the next day, 16 hours, and it just knocked me out. And I had to recoup. And I ate a bunch of Ricolas and used bee propolis as a spray and drank some of the breathe right teas, lots of plant medicines there. And she even served me my own medicine, my Aiyah's magic honey in the tea, giving me my own medicine, which was super funny. And it just took time and rest. And this was the heart. We were working on the heart. We were so ready to go to record this class. And nope, just, no, wasn't happening. We have literally had the same outfit ready for 5 different recording sessions, and it hasn't happened. Thank goddess it's happening right now, and praying that this is actually recording, because I'm pretty sure it is. So here we are finally in the space of the heart, but we had to go through all of this. And this is like when Ganesha shows up. Ganesha will show up and just throw an obstacle fully in your path and just make you completely stop and redirect. And this was a time to fill our own cup, rest and receive in the very final days of winter, right after the Chinese New Year. So yeah.
Yeah. We both got sick. Fortunately, I did not get it to the severity of it. She got it.
I hadn't been that, my immune system hadn't been that hit for probably 10 years.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was crazy. So here we are. Yeah, I can hear it. That's why I'm just kind of coughing. Excuse me for that. So we're going to do this chanting, and we're going to just go up to the heart. Once we get the next few, we'll continue all the way up, and then we'll talk about the high heart sounds. So we'll start with Lam, Bam, Ram, Yam. Okay. Deep breath in. Lam, Bam, Ram, Yam. And you can use your hands and guide, feeling the energy move. Lam, Bam, Ram, Yam. Again. Lam, Bam, Ram, Yam. So when we're moving into the chakras, we're moving energy with sound. We talked about the keynotes as well. So let's talk about the high heart sounds, or the high chakra sounds. And so we have ooh as in, oh, excuse me, oh as in go, then ooh as in blue, ah as in father, a as in face. So oh, I. So we'll do that a couple times. Oh, I. Oh, I. We'll do one more. Oh, I. And you can even go up an octave. So definitely moving some energy, so I can cough. Oh, I. Oh, I. Oh, I. So you can feel how that moves energy. Each chakra has its own partner within the chakra system. The chakras move in pairs, and there's 7 within the physical body. The heart stands alone. The heart is of itself. And so we've got the root and the crown, we've got the sacral and the third eye, with the solar plexus and the throat, and then we've got the heart. So they work in pairs like that, but everything comes together in the center. The lower chakras are of the earth and of the elements, the higher chakras of spirit. And so you have this meeting point in the center of the body. Anything else on that before we move on? Okay. All right. So we're going to move on to our yoga practice. Now, there's mudras we can use to activate the energy of the fire and the air moving together. And so prana mudra, placing the thumbs underneath the ring in the pinky finger and extending the other 2 fingers out with energy, not just lazy, but really strongly, like a little solar panel. And then you can bring your palms all the way up and out into victory mudra if you want to even deepen that further. So prana mudra and Ujjayi breathing are really, really good for this. Another mudra that's good is John, which is the path of wisdom. Index finger touching thumb, other 3 fingers extended out with energy. Just a little circle, just a soft circle. And so you can use the palms up for receiving, the palms down for grounding. And so this is a mudra that we use a lot in Siddhasana. And I'd like you to come into Siddhasana versus crossing the ankles, which is Sukhasana. And so Siddhasana is a posture again where you want to elevate the sit bones just slightly. You're going to bring the inner heel all the way to your pubic bone. You can even sit on the heel and press the pubic bone and the clitoris or your perineal muscle with your heel. And that activates the root chakra, sealing off Mula Bandha at the root. And then you're going to bring your other foot in as much as you can. If you can place your other foot against your shin. And then you're going to take your hands and bring your mudra of Jnana, path of wisdom, Jnana mudra, and bring the palms out. Bring them upward for receiving, or you can press downward. And this is back just a tiny bit. Our knees not quite touching. And when we're extending the arms, you're going to push away. So you're pushing the knee joint away from the hips and extending the space here, making sure the hips are level. And then this is going to also open the heart. Try not to overextend the back. Keep that sacral chakra in check so that the hips stay level front to back. And so as you push down and away, you're actually creating this openness within the body, especially within the solar plexus and the heart space, which makes it really great for doing Ujjayi breath. So Ujjayi is kind of like that Darth Vader breath, where like if you were standing in front of a mirror and you would fog up the mirror. But you're going to do it with your lips closed. So you're going to create that feeling, but the lips are closed and it comes out through the nose. So it sounds like you don't have to overdo it. I'm sure all of us have been to yoga class where someone's just breathing like freaking Darth Vader and you're like, dude, you don't really need to breathe like that. It's a little much. You know, just enough to get the energy flowing, and basically you're swirling it and swirling the energy. And this is the movement of the air, but it's moving it within the body. And so this is one of the yogic locks. The root lock is the first one. And then the second lock is right here at the Manipura. And this is the yogic lock in the Uddiyana Bandha. And so then the third lock would be your Jalandhara Bandha in the throat. And when we can master those three yogic locks, that is the master lock. And we can work within moving the energy with mastery through our body. And this is really what yoga is. Yoga is the science of consciousness. And so we are studying how to connect to consciousness through movements and physical mudras and breath works within the physical being. So here we have Siddhasana, hips are level, we're sitting on the cushion, knees are open. If that's too much for you, sit on another cushion. And then we're going to take the index finger to thumb and your Jnana mudra, Jnana, palms down or palms up, whatever feels most appropriate for you. You're going to use the energy of your heel of your hand, whether it's up or down, to push down and away and lift and extend the spine without overarching the back. And then we're going to move into Ujjayi Breath. So practice the breathing. You're going to start with a, then you're going to close the mouth. It might even vibrate the soft palate, and you could feel that little vibration as the exhale comes out. So breath in. Pushing the diaphragm in and up. Again, you're using that, and keep going while I'm talking. And you're going to use the diaphragm, again, like that little fire pump. There's a name for it. That creates the fire stoker, yeah. And it creates that energy of heart and solar plexus moving together. Combusting energy, fire and air. So keep doing your Ujjayi breath. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my anatomy teacher. His name is Leslie Kaminoff. And Leslie Kaminoff says that we are cleaning the flue or the chimney. And as yogis, we are simply here to clean out. We're cleaners. We're space makers. And so think about like if you had a chimney and the fire was here at your solar plexus and the chimney was here, all that gunk that gets caught up in that chimney. Keep doing your Ujjayi breath. and clear that flu. You're clearing the flu. You're opening that space. You're creating space in the body. Yoga is making space in the physical body. Okay, a couple more here. Last one. Move through that. Move on. So come back to your natural breath, and we're going to talk a little bit about I think what breath I was going to share. Yeah. Well, obviously, breath of fire is good. This is good for fire and air, and I feel like we should just do Kapalabhati just to get the energy up a little bit before we move into our practice. So for those of you that have practiced Kapalabhati before, just hang tight for a moment while I explain it. So Kapalabhati is soul shining breath, and as we're creating space in the body, we're making energy, room for the energy to move and flow properly in the yin and yang channels, Ida and Pingala, so that the central channel, which connects us from the Earth Star Chakra to the Galactic Star Chakra, moves freely in the Sushumna channel. So we're creating space within that Sushumna channel. And so the breath of fire is Agni, creation of energy, but it's soul shining breath, because as the energy moves within the body, again, like I mentioned, the chakras move in pairs, and the energy begins to move up with the Kundalini energy, and it begins to open that crown chakra. And so even though the combustion is happening here, it opens your crown. And you can see this in Kirlian photography. I had done a video, or a still photo of a photography that I did in the Science Museum years ago in Dallas. And I could see that the heat was beginning when I was doing the breath. People in the museum were like, what is that girl doing? You know, they're like walking around the museum. Here I am doing breath of fire in front of this this display that was showing Kirlian photography, because I'm like, oh my God, I can really see where the heat is in my body. I'm going to see how this actually works. And so it got really white hot here at first. And then as I kept doing it, I did it for like 2 minutes. Then this area got white hot. And the rest of the area was like yellow and orange. And then the outer layers were more blue because they were cooler. It was the coolest freaking thing. And I have those photos somewhere. But that's how you can prove that this energy actually works, because you can measure it with heat. And it does create heat in the body. So you're going to use this as a pumping action. So you're going to push in and up. And you're going to push belly button to spine. So you're trying to push your belly button towards your navel and squeeze the breath out while you just do little bursting actions with your nostrils. And you're going to go in a rhythm that's as fast as you want to go, but just in a general rhythm. And the idea is to do 108. You can start with doing 27, 56, and then 108. So you could do a quarter round, half round, and a full round. You can also keep track with a mala, which is great because malas are 108 beats. And that's one way you can keep track of your breath work. That's a whole other class. We're not going to do that right now. But what we are going to do is we're going to do a round. So take a breath in. I'm going to go through the whole 108. Just pause when you need to. I'll cue you at 27 and you can take a breath there. Breath in. Use your mudra. Again, John mudra here, or you can work with prana mudra if you're working with fire and energy, which is the 2 fingers extended out. The thumbnail is covered by the pinky and the ring finger. And you can have prana mudra here. You could be doing giving and receiving mudra here. You can be in victory mudra here. Or you could be in John mudra here. Either palms facing up or facing down. Or whatever mudra is called to you. But those are the ones that we reviewed for today. Breath in. And go. "27, you can take a breath in or keep going. This is 56. Keep going if you want to keep going. Otherwise, take a breath. And pause. Breath in. Use your Ujjayi breath. Back to that Ujjayi breath. One more. Iceberg. We're just going to move into a very gentle yoga practice today. If you want to take your yoga practice up a notch, you can also add in wheel or full wheel. You can add in bridge. You can add in other heart openers. Today, we're going to go ahead and start by just coming into all fours. And do you want to switch cameras for us, please, babe? And I'm going to go ahead and move down to the list of awesomeness that we're going to get into. So we're going to start with the seated breath like we did. Then we're going to move into Anahatasana after we do just a little bit of warm up. Chakra Vikasana, all fours. And so I'm going to pause here where she switches over to the other camera. Okay. A little feedback here. Can you turn the volume up over there? Okay, so coming into all fours. And we're going to move into pinning this one. There we go. So we'll be able to see a little bit better. Moving into the other camera. All right. Except for we can't see the postures. So coming in all fours. And just taking your breath in, opening the heart, opening the shoulders, opening the chest, exhaling it out. You still can't see the mat at all, right?
I'm working on it.
Inhaling, hips and shoulders moving side to side. Exhaling. Just gently rounding the back, tucking the head, moving the tail from side to side, opening the heart, and then exhaling it out. Inhaling the heart. One more. And then exhaling, scooping and rounding, flowing with breath. And exhaling it out. Just take a couple more nice long breaths here. And exhaling, side to side with the hips. And just finding your way into child's pose as you finish and complete your breath work and your chakra vikasana, cat and cow. So let yourself just move into child's pose and dropping back. I'm going to switch my screen here. Find the arms reaching forward. Drop all the way back. And then we're going to bend at the elbows and we're going to take the hands to the back of the heart, if that feels good for you. I'm going to gently rock the hips from side to side. And breathe. Nice long, deep, full breaths here. Checking in with your body. Checking in with your breath. Reach forward. Come up into all fours. Grab your bolster or your pillow. We're going to move into Anahatasana. So we're going to just lower the heart center down. So keep your knees shoulder width apart or hips width apart. And we're going to just drop down until that heart space can lower down onto your pillow or your bolster. And just breathe here. In and out through the nose. Nice
long, deep, full breath. Scooch back a little bit, babe. And just reaching and then dropping in. Dropping into the heart. Dropping the heart down to Mama Gaia. Nice long, full breath here. Remember your Ujjayi breathing. Moving with the breath. Maybe making a little humming or some yummy sounds. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Tapping into that heart. Yum, yum. This will feel really good if you've done a lot of computer work and things like that. So from here, we're just going to simply come back into cat and cow for a few breaths at your own pace. Side to side. Inhaling up. Exhaling out. Just rolling the hips and shoulders side to side. And breathe. From here, we're going to simply move into our vinyasa. So we're going to just simply come up into all fours and then just come into standing on the knees posture. So just reach up. Nice big heart space circles. Nice back bend if you want to take prana mudra or if you want to take Bija mudra. Feel the heart space opening. Couple more breaths here with your Ujjayi breath. And then exhale down. Inhale cow. Exhale cat. Reaching forward. Coming into that child's pose. And then dropping all the way back. Inhale coming up. Exhale, grab your bolster and then just drop down into heart-centered opener, Anahatasana. Stay here for 3 breaths. 2 more breaths. One more nice huge breath here. And out. Coming back up into all fours. Move your pillow out. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Round in the hips and shoulders, side to side. Coming up into stands on knees. And then let's inhale, reach the sky. And taking a mudra here, we're interlocking the fingers, index fingers extend up and back. Let the elbows drop away from the ears, opening that heart space, pushing the hips forward, opening the front of that body. One more breath. Exhale, coming down through heart center. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Remember your Ujjayi breath through your practice. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, coming down into child's pose. Let's take that hand at the back of the heart mudra here. One breath. And release it out. Inhale, reaching forward. Come back into all fours. Come down into that heart-centered opener here. Coming into your Anahatasana. Lowering down as you can. Gently moving down to the earth. 3 breaths, Ujjayi breath. 2 more breaths here. One huge breath. And out. Coming back up into all fours. And from here, we're going to simply move into a runner's lunge. So I invite you to come into right foot forward. I'm going to slide that left knee back, coming into that space of runner's lunge. I don't know where my mouse went. Holding here. Breathing. In out through the nose. Slide that left knee back a little deeper if you can. Breathing here. Got an option here to bring the hand to the inside edge. And maybe move your foot out to the right a little bit. If you want to take your pillow or your bolster or blocks, and you can come down into prayer hands again. And coming into opening that inner psoas, that deep front groin. If you'd like, you can rest your third eye on your folded hands. Ujjayi Breath. Making that Darth Vader sound as you move the energy, move the prana. When you're ready, gently coming up into a kneeling plank, step back. Breath in here, find your kneeling plank. We're going to lower down like a caterpillar. Heart center kisses the earth first, then chin, then chest. Lower all the way down. And then coming into pranam dandasana. I'm going to scooch us back here, baby. So we're going to scooch back here. And so pranam dandasana is a prayer posture. We're going to drop all the way flat, and then we're going to take our palms forward, and we're going to reach our palms forward on the mat and just drop our forehead down. Bring the feet out wide behind you and just drop into full prayer position. Surrender. 3 Ujjayi breaths here. 2 more. You can gently sway the hands from side to side here. Again, you've got prayer hands reaching forward, dropping all the way down. Gently coming back into an all fours position, coming up and moving into your cat and cow. Breath in and breath out. Coming back into neutral spine position. Step that left foot forward. Finding your runner's lunge, slide that right knee back. Pointing the toe coming onto the top of the foot. And then just take a couple breaths here. Allow that inner groin to soften and lower down toward the earth. One more breath here. You can take fingertips wide here, or you can be on blocks. And we're just going to lower down. And if you can come down either onto the pillow or onto the earth. So you might want to use a pillow or blocks. And take your prayer hands. Just drop down. Let the forehead rest on the folded palms. Ujjayi breath. I want to hear that breath moving. One more here. Coming back up, you're just moving that deep front line, opening that deep front line of the body. Step back, all fours, cat and cow. Exhale it out. And stepping the knees back, finding your kneeling plank. Breath here, we're gonna lower down, chin, chest, belly, flattening the body out. Reaching the arms forward, finding pranam dandasana, long prayer and surrender. 3 Ujjayi breaths here. Widen the feet and let your body just surrender. Drop into prayer. Ujjayi breath here. Remember your Ujjayi breath, even though your forehead's on the earth. Sway those hips from side to side. Move that energy. One more here. Pressing back. Find a child counterbalance stretch. Nice big reach. We're going to pull ourselves up into an all fours. Tuck our toes under. Reach the hands forward. We're going to push back into an active child's pose where the toes are tucked under, and you can even reach back and spread out your pinky toes here. We're going to press the hips away from the hands. Really spread out the hands here and get a nice contact with the index finger and the thumb in an L-shaped position. Roll your inner elbow forward so that it opens up the chest. And press away, creating length in the body. Ujjayi breath. Now we're going to gently keep this same positioning from the wrist, elbow, shoulder, hips in a nice long line, and we're beginning to lift the hips into a downward facing puppy. Just a little soft downward dog. We're not going to push all the way up. We're going to simply keep the knees bent and lifting up. And then just wag our little tail, walking the dog, pedaling out those heels. Just breathe here, good. Pushing the index finger and the thumb into the earth, rolling that inner elbow forward, lift those hips back. Keep those knees nice and soft. Keep that Ujjayi breath going. Now lower down. Same way you came in, coming back to child's pose. And if you like, you can take that mudra, hands behind the back of the heart. 3 full breaths here in your child's pose. Breathing here. Completely relax. Good. Good. Check. We have a couple more postures that we're going to move through. So option for, you can move into a downward facing dog. If you want to take it a little bit deeper from here, you can pause and just move into a full down dog and just get some more movement flowing. From here, we're just going to simply go back into our flow one more time. So let's come back into our all fours position, in and out through the nose. Take that kneeling plank. So we're going to do all fours. Exhale, step back, kneeling plank. Inhale here, exhale, lower down, chin, chest, belly. And then inhale here, exhale, release the forehead down onto the earth. We're going to come up and we're going to move into Anahatasana. Take that pillow and use your prop and then just come all the way down, squeezing open those spaces in front of the collarbones, stretching and reaching. Make sure also that you're not leaning the hips all the way back in Anahatasana. You're just keeping the hips above the center of the knee, just like you did in cat and cow. So all you're doing is bringing the heart down, but you're not leaning back. And that's what's going to keep that space nice and open. So just moving down into that heart space and just melting. Let's come back up. Let's move our pillow out to the side. We're going to reach our right hand up to the sky. Big, full breath. And then we're going to thread the needle and come through and then just drop that right cheek onto the ground. Let your ear come to the ground. Take your left hand around your chin and just make a little tent and just press that left hand down and open that chest a little bit more. Drop into that right deltoid and just melt that right shoulder into the ground. Your right arm might want to try to grip or hold. Let that right arm just be fully steamrolled here. You can roll a little bit up and a little bit down and just releasing any energy from that right shoulder.
I like to elongate the tail and take the hips over to the right.
Can you say that again? So moving the hips to the right will help create a little more space. Breathe. And coming back. Press your left hand down by your chin. Bring that right hand all the way back up to the sky. Ooh. And then coming back. Cat and cow. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale. Let's take that left hand all the way up. And then we're going to thread the needle, feed it through all the way down and just drop onto that left deltoid and really let your body weight melt that left shoulder. Take your right hand, make it a little spider web or like a spider, and then press it down closer to your chin and your elbow. And then use that to pivot open your chest. Ujjayi Breath. And Takata, you want to give that same cue for the other side? Breathing in, press your hips a little bit toward the left to create even more space. Melt into that left shoulder. Left ear to the ground. Maybe just steamroll that shoulder a little bit, up and down, back and forth. Press your left palm down and come up. Bring that left arm all the way up to the sky. Big breath, and then exhale back to center. Cat and cow breath. Let's come into center, let's come into stands on knees. And let's bring our two fists up and around, opening that heart, and bring your fists right into your sacrum. So below the pelvic crest, but not quite to the tailbone. Squeeze the elbows together, coming into camel. We're going to take that throat lock, Jalandhara Bandha. Lock that throat. Lift your heart space up instead of bringing your chin down. So it's a dual action, but more than anything, you're lifting your heart up, and then you're just tucking your chin to protect the head and neck. Again, the heart space likes protection, so this is a good place to start, especially if you have any back injuries or any issues in your back. The head is really heavy, so keeping the chin tucked keeps the head protected, the neck and back protected. Squeeze the elbows together even more. You can take your thumbs and just push into those little dimples at the top of your hips, and then push toward the tailbone, pushing the pubic bone forward. Lift the heart and use your Ujjayi breath here. Ustrasana, camel. Try to relax those low back muscles. I know that they're really tight right now because they're activated, but try to let them just relax and not bind and hold. 2 more. One more breath. Come back into neutral stance on knees, hands to the thighs, and ground here, and just rock from side to side. Moving the hips in little figure eights. Let's do camel one more time, this time with the option to drop the head back. Make a little fist, you can keep your thumbs out for a little more support, reaching up. Exhale back, and then dropping the fists right at the center of the sacrum. Squeeze those chicken wings together. Tuck the chin, lift the heart, pushing the pubic bone forward, tuck the chin, lift the heart. Now, option to drop the head back. If that causes extra pressure on your low back, just keep that chin tucked. We don't want to cause any pressure. We don't want to aggravate the body. We're creating space in the body, but we're not aggravating it. And then from here, one more deep, full breath, either chin back or not. Coming into a big reach, scooping up. Exhaling out. And coming in to stands on knees. Let's come into all fours. And then breathing here, we're going to lower down heart center first. Chin, chest, belly, step back into your kneeling plank and just be the lower. All the way down. Step all the way back. Flatten the body out. Coming into Prana Dandasana. Again, taking the prayer mudra, hands together on Dali, and then reaching the arms forward, drop the head down, widen the legs, and just rock the hips from side to side. Two more breaths. And let's press back into child's pose, a nice counterbalance for that camel Uttanasana. And just a nice big reach forward. Press those hips away, create space in the back. Let your chest rest between your thighs. If your chest doesn't do that, just bring your hands, your pillow, and your heart down. Hands forward, or prayer hands at the back of the heart. So whatever feels good. You can also bring a pillow underneath your crease of your knees and support those hips. Reaching forward, coming up into kneeling plank. Exhale, lower down, chin, chest, belly, like a caterpillar. And then we're just going to roll over onto our backside. And then hugging those knees into the chest. This is Apana, downward flow of energy. So the Apana is the downward flow, the Prana is the upward flow. So we're moving into this downward flow of energy, letting the spine be level with the horizon. Nice, long, full breath here. We're going to bend the knees. We're going to place the hands underneath the glutes. Tuck your elbows under you so your shoulder blades are tucking together. Now we're going to get ready to move into Matsyasana or fish pose. So begin to scoop the shoulder blades together and then just lift up onto the crown of the head. Now we're going to open the mouth and breathe. Now for here, you can protect your back by keeping the knees bent. You can move into full fish by pointing the toes up, like almost like a half boat. And we're going to, or you could just keep the legs down and extend, spread out your toes like a little tail on a fish. So whichever choice you want for your legs, and breathe with your mouth open. We'll take a good 5 breaths. Looking upside down. Release. Taking the arms out to the side. That's kind of a blood stop, so flushing the hands, open and close, open and close, open and close. Let's come back, knees to chest. Give yourself a big hug. Again, looking upside down if that feels good for you. Viewing the world upside down is really important in our yoga practice. It gains so much perspective on reality, or what is considered reality, right? And then coming into feet down, heels, hips width apart. Hands are reaching toward the heels. If they can touch the heels, it's at the perfect distance. And then scoop the shoulder blades under. Not so much so that your low back lifts off the ground, but enough so that your shoulders are fully making contact with the earth. Move your hair or any necklaces out of the way so they're not underneath you. And we're gonna roll up, bringing the pubic bone up first. Just like you're lifting a strand of pearls off of your yoga mat, you're gonna just gently lift your spine, bone by bone, starting with the very low back and peeling up like a piece of Scotch tape. Bringing it up bone by bone by bone. Coming into bridge. Make sure your neck is in neutral here. There's a small space underneath the center of the cervical spine. Your hair, if you have any clips or anything in your hair, move that out of the way. And scoop those shoulder blades underneath you. Not that they're pinching together, but there's a broad space underneath the whole entire shoulder girdle. Lift up into your bridge. Open that space. Now again, you're pulling Jalandhara Bandha, chin to chest. You did this before when you did camel. This is almost like camel, it's just in a different shape on the mat. And breathe. Now camel can be when you reach back and reach for your heels. So this is where we can reach for our heels, or we can interlock the fingers and bind our hands underneath. Lift the chest and lift the chin a little higher. And then release and just roll down, upper back first. Bone by bone by bone. You might come onto your tippy toes here. Mid back, make sure every little vertebrae touches bone by bone. And come back where the tailbone's touching. And then now there's a gentle space underneath your low back. Gently switch the knees from side to side. We're going to do 2 more bridges at your own pace. Rolling up. You can add your lock if you'd like to. And releasing bone by bone by bone. Switching the knees from side to side. And last, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. This is your bridge pose. Rolling up. Locking those hands if that feels good. Spreading out those shoulders, chin to chest. Jalandhara Bandha. Lift, lift, lift that pubic bone. Gently squeeze those inner thighs. The knees are not coming out wide. They're staying straight forward like a railroad track. Lift the chin to the chest. And then gently release. Bone by bone. Don't skip any vertebrae, especially the mid-back. Lay the spine down nice and easy. And then gently rock the knees side to side. Let's hug those knees into chest. And we're going to come into happy baby, Ananda. So bring the heels to the sky. Take your 2 peace fingers and grab your big toe and then lock your thumb around those fingernails. So you can just really drop down and let the elbows drop down toward those shoulders. With the weight of your arms, pull your knees down toward those shoulders and just gently rock. Whenever you see babies grab their feet, they're always happy. So this is happy baby, Ananda Balasana, blissful child. Balasana pose is child's pose. Ananda is bliss. This is also called wind relieving pose. So you can move that air And when babies have tummy aches, you just bring their knees to their chest and give them little belly massages like this, and it gets the gas moving and helps them to flow. You might get some little poopy dykes, get that gas out, because when they're colicky, they don't know how to move the gas, especially if it's before they're crawling. And this is with us as adults doing this posture, we're treating ourselves kindly, just like we would a little baby, with gentleness and peace and bliss. Let's bring our feet together, coming into reclining butterfly, Supta Pada Baddha Konasana, supine reclining angle pose with a bind. And then just gently lower the feet down. Keep the bind together like a book, the toes and the edges of the feet and the heels touching. And we're just going to take a downward facing triangle mudra and place that mudra right there at the sacral chakra, connecting with the center of water. Just find your breath rising and falling. Nice long, deep, full breath. Let your hips just relax. If you need some support, you can tuck pillows underneath the outer legs. You can stay here for your shavasana, or you can extend the legs all the way out, coming into corpse pose and relaxing for as long as you'd like. Stay there. And I'm just going to lead you through a heart-centered meditation to close. Dropping deep down into Mother Earth. Feel your body resting on the mat. Connecting with the air of the breath. Connecting with the air around you. Connecting with the earth below you. Let your body become heavy. And dropping the energy down into the earth. Allow your body just to rest safely here on the mat. And just travel down deep into the center of the planet. Dropping down through the waters, down through the bedrock, through the tectonic plates under the continent that you're on, through the red hot magma, and down into the very center of the crystalline core of our planet. And let yourself connect deeply with the center Earth Star Chakra of Mama Gaia. Sparkly white and diamond light. It's the perfect temperature. We can just float around here, connecting and refilling and refueling our body, our mind, our spirit. Soaking in all the minerals and all of the vitamins and trace elements that we need for our human body to thrive. Recharging with unlimited energy supply, filling up your cup, filling up your cup, filling up your cup, and just filling up your body from the physical to the energy body. Continue to fill up into the emotional body. Continue to fill up and bring energy up into the wisdom body from the center core of our planet. All the way out into the bliss body, expanding with this beautiful diamond white light through all of our energy bodies. Letting it turn into this beautiful pink quartz cotton candy with sparkly light. And yourself just floating around safely inside of this bubble of energy. creating a field of protection on the outside of your bubble with either black earth dirt or terracotta or clay, and sealing off your energy bubble on the outside, protecting you from anything that might invade your bubble. Nothing can enter your bubble without your permission. This is your autonomous space, filling it as far and as wide with love from Mama Gaia. Gently travel back up that cord of energy, connecting to your physical body, bringing all of this energy in, sealing it in to your energy field. Feel yourself again on the mat. Feel the weight of gravity connecting you to the earth. Feel the air around you connecting to the sky. Wiggle the fingertips and toes. Gently open your eyes. You can stay here and rest as long as you like, or you can come into a baby pose or fetal position if you'd like as well. We're going to close our practice together when you feel ready. Breathing in here, connecting to the breath. If you'd like to sit up, whatever seated position feels good for you. And let's just close with an Om. Does that sound good? Deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you so much for joining us for this Embodied Chakra Journey. We'll see you on the next one. Namaste. Thank you.